It has long been debated whether the glorious tomato is a fruit or a vegetable. Scientifically speaking, the tomato is indeed a fruit, but is for the most part used in savory dishes, hence the blanket use of the term vegetable by chefs. To shed more light on the subject, let's venture to the Gull Lake area northwest of Red Deer.
Hi, my name is Phil Teamstra. I'm the owner of Gull Valley Greenhouses.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Teamstra. I'm Phil's wife, and I'm part owner of Gull Valley Greenhouse.
Hi, I'm Levi Teamstra of Gull Valley Greenhouses, and my family grows tomatoes.
I grew up on a chicken farm north of Edmonton, and that was what my father's passion was.
Well, we were raising chickens in Irlandia, where for the first 15 years that we were married.
But I wanted more. I wanted something a little more challenging and something different.
We said, oh, I really like those hothouse tomatoes that our friends had.
We started with a small greenhouse, just growing the large beefsteak tomatoes.
And we moved here and we sold the farm and did this full time. I think it's really neat that it's a whole family. We're all involved as a family because my son, thankfully, loved the same career as my husband, and together they make a good team. And our son-in-law, of course, he sells at the farmer's market. And our daughter in Edmonton, she works every Saturday as many times as she can at the farmer's market. So indirectly, we're all involved. And hopefully someday our grandchildren will be too, like working at the farmer's market or coming out for the summer.
When I was young, I just helped out a little bit after school and on Saturdays. And after high school, I went to college and I got my diploma in business. And after that, I decided I want to be involved in the greenhouse full time because it's my passion. I love it.
The greenhouse has also provided a wonderful backdrop for Levi and Carmen's wedding photo.
In the first few years, we grew only beefsteak tomatoes. And then over the years, we diversified into other varieties such as Romas, tomato on the vine, cocktail, yellow and orange TOVs, grapes and cherries.
Adding to that, because if you come to the farmer's market stall and all you see is tomatoes, it doesn't look, I didn't think it looked real good. It's all too much of the same thing. So we grow green things to kind of break the colors on the stand. We grow a flat bean and a round bean, and we grow butterhead lettuce and some different types of leaf lettuce, which we can add to that tomato or to that table and make it look, I think, very impressive.
And then we also started growing beans, basil and mint, and bell peppers. We grow butterhead lettuce, and we harvest it with the roots still intact. So a customer is able to take the lettuce and put it in a bowl of water, and they could keep it on their counter if they choose for up to a week.
Things we do in the greenhouse are the CO2 for plant growth. We have a boiler that runs during the day, and that CO2 is distributed to the plants to promote healthy growth and good production. And then the heat from the boiler is put into a large storage tank outside so that the heat can be used at night. So we're kind of reversing the cycle.
Plants need CO2 to grow. So the more CO2 the plant has, the more production you will get. We use hydroponics, which means anything other than the use of soil. Our tomatoes and peppers are grown in coconut fiber husk. So it's just a growing medium that the plants put their roots into. And then they're fed all the nutrients that they require into the bag.
This is a beautiful environment here for plants to grow, but that said, it's also a beautiful environment for different insects that love eating plants to also thrive and survive and thrive. God's created kind of a world where there's a balance, and within creation there's the bugs that want to eat leaves, plants, but there's also bugs that want to eat those bugs. And so we bring bugs in, and then they're placed out, and then they start to populate. And eventually the populations balance out, and eventually what I could refer to as the good bug or the good guys win out.
Gull Valley Greenhouses relies on bumblebees imported from the Netherlands to help naturally pollinate their tomato plants. This process is practically maintenance-free, with the bumblebees working from early morning to late evening.
We don't spray any type of pesticides here whatsoever. In fact, the last couple of years we've had pepper crops that we just couldn't handle some of the large influx of bugs from outside, and we had to take the crop out. We are that committed to pesticide-free that we will watch a crop die, and that's something. It's hard because we know there's chemicals out there that will do it, but we're committed for the long haul, and we just say we're gonna do better next year or next crop, and we're gonna learn from that and go from there. We want to produce food that's really good and healthy and clean for people, and I want to be able to walk in the greenhouse and just grab one of these red tomatoes and put it in my mouth and eat it, and I want the same for my customers, that they have the best product possible.
When you bite into a red juicy tomato that's fully vine ripened, you're going to have a higher sugar content as well. And different varieties of tomatoes will have different levels of sugar content. When we choose our tomato varieties, we try to pick ones that have a really good flavor, and we try to have a tomato that customers will come back to us and say, I really like that flavor. It tastes just what a tomato should taste like. And that to us is more important than having just a really super high production.
Going to the farmers market, it's nice to see how excited people are to have our product, our vegetables. They just keep commenting on how good it is and how nice it is to have a fresh product locally. It's pretty hard to find something fresh and local in the spring and in the winter, so it's definitely nice to see the smiles on everyone's faces.
What I really like the most is when people come to us at the farmers markets and meeting all your customers face to face versus just shipping it out to a store. And we know our product at farmers markets are always at its best.
I think when I started with one tomato and just a wholesale, that's a much simpler concept. Now with so many different crops and each having kind of its own unique needs, it's become more complex. And I think Levi and I will both say that neither one of us could do this all on our own. So we need all of us involved to pull this off.